Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Just give me a minute to share the link out. Do some checking of everything. Making sure everything's okay. Make sure everything's in focus as well. Just give me a moment. Oh, pissing hell. Thought I might have done that. Bugger. Not a good start for the game. Yeah, you know what I mean. Right, just mute that, because that will cause feedback. Copy. Why the fuck am I thinking that? Oh, come on, computer, don't be a dick. Paste. Tweet. Paste. I'll shove this over here. Take Stream Deck away. So I just move this over here so I can see what it is. Make life a lot easier. Wait, what the hell have I shifted? Wasn't that what I wanted to shift to? That one. Right. Oh, fuck off. Stupid thing. Right. It would make it easy if it would work. Hey guys, how are we all doing? Let me know if the sound is okay and it's not too loud. So, I've got to take these off now because they're doing my head in. So, we are in a situation where this club once again needs strikers. And it's weird because we had a period where we had so many strikers and we didn't know what to do with them. Hi DJ, how are you, mate? Yeah, not too bad tonight. A little bit tired. I was hoping, I was debating whether to do a live stream tonight because I was gonna go do a fire in my back garden because it's dry. But I thought, fuck it, it'll be warmer in the house, and I get the live stream done, and hopefully it won't piss it down tomorrow. Hi Chris, how are you, mate? We all Wednesday, aren't we? Which, to be honest with you, I haven't seen that used in a very, very long time since that bloke copyrighted it. So, makes you wonder on things like that if when they actually went to court over it trying to get the copyright back. But yeah, so it's an interesting one. So, let's go with what we know at the moment is that basically Gary Monk wants to get a striker in before the game on Saturday. He said that openly. He wants to get players in and he wants to see what happens there. He has said he wants to get people in the door by this weekend, which would be really good if he can do that, to be honest with you. I prefer it if we could get it done quickly instead of this stupid situation where we're having to wait on other things to happen or other clubs. It looks like we've missed out on the Arsenal striker, which I'm gutted for and I'm not gutted for at the same time. He's a good player, he's really good, he's a young age, but he's one of those ones where you know for a fact that Arsenal are only putting him out so they can get in the experience. And to be fair, it's kind of what we need. We need him to go out and get some players in so we can get the experience. But at the same time, we're in a position at the minute where we know we're going for loan players. We know that 100%. Loan players only. We also know that the places he's looking for are striker and wingers. Can we buy us at free? We can buy, but I don't think I'll buy unless it's a young player. Like something you can bed into the youth academy and then slowly integrate them. There's nothing saying we can't buy. It just sounds more like that Monk want to loan players in instead. Because it's not like we've got a lot of... Yeah. Not like we've got a lot of leeway in terms of buying, because if we do buy, we then got to write it up and kind of justify it with the Football League. And yes, I know people are going like, oh, fuck the Football League, but we got to be very careful. But at the same time, it's starting to look like, and don't bite my head off here, but anyone in the thing, but it's starting to look like that Chansiri is now understanding how to run a football club, in the sense that he's letting players go. Like, we sold 2 youth team players in, well, Thornley and Baker, technically youth team players, but they were in the first team. We sold 2 players, and I can't remember the last time when they sold players, and it won't be a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting it to be a massive amount. We may have put some sales percentage of net sale if they do well, and I really hope we have done. But I think if you see anything, it's either going to be freebies or loans. And to be honest with you, I think that's all when they should do. And if, say, they get good in the summer, or say they come chance to go in the summer, and then we look about seeing what we got to play with there. Out of all the strikers we've been linked with recently, who you think would you like us to get, and who do you think is the most realistic? Most realistic, I'd probably say Connor Wickham. He knows the club. He already been here once before and knew what it did to his career, in a sense. The Wickham one, I can see Crystal Palace giving us a good situation on money, if that makes sense. Letting us know how much money that we could realistically save on him, and paying. I like that, but it's a weird one. There's a lad who we've been linked with, who currently plays for Benefacci, in Besiktas, even in Turkey. He's 25. He's a New Zealand American player called Tyler Boyd. He's only made 7 appearances this year since he signed on July 15th. He's not got a great goal scoring record. He played for the Wellington Phoenix. He played for Vitória, which is a club that we've done business with before in the past. But at the same time, he's a good young player. Yes, and I think that's what we're going to say. I don't think you're going to find players coming in who we may have heard of a bit. Sometimes I think we might have to go a bit left field again. But I wouldn't mind looking at him. Che Adams is dead. I know there was talk that Monk really wanted to try and bring him in, but Rafael Holland said he ruled out a move to Ellen Road for him, and the club believes Adams has no interest in going. Hansel says, I wouldn't consider loaning him out. I need every player, especially in the second position, because we don't have many. So, in theory, you could probably say that's him done now on that one. I can't see us managing to get him back, if that makes sense, or turning that one around. Because I personally think we will look at players who he has had before, but that one I don't think is one we can go for anymore. Everyone keeps saying Dwight Gale, saying I wouldn't even touch it with a 10-foot ball pole. The fact that there's going to be a condition that if you get promoted, you have to buy him for 20 million or so, or whatever it is. And it's not a deal I feel comfortable with doing. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. He is a very good player. But I feel that it's probably not the right move for us, in a sense. And he would want massive money to come in. Even if you signed him in the thing, he wants to still be on quite big Premiership wages. I think you might still go for some like youth team players or players who are not quite getting into the first team at some places, so they might need to go out. It's things like that we're going to be looking at more than anything. And I get it. I get why we're doing that. I understand why we're doing that. But I also feel it's one of those situations where everyone knows what position we're lacking. Really, let's be honest. Everybody knows what position we lack at the moment. And that position is up front. And that's just because we've got an injury problem and we're not firing on all cylinders with our strikers. And one of the annoying things with that is that they have been hit and miss at times. It's not like they've been thing. Yeah, that's the thing I got with Gale. He is like 30 odd, and people still keep seeing as this young player. And I don't think 20 million for him is nothing to write home about, to be fair. I wouldn't even say he's... Let's have a look here. So, let's go from his Palace days. When he was at Palace, he got 64 appearances, 15 goals. Newcastle, he got 76 appearances, 29 goals. And at West Brom on loan, it was 39 and 23. He has a good-ish record in front. But like I said, he is 30 odd. And it's one of those strange ones where he's not really ripping up the Premiership. But also you got the other side. If we go for someone like Dwight Gale, are we doing another Jordan Rhodes? Are we literally going for someone who's the big name and everything like that and going from there? And to be honest with you, I don't think it would be a good deal for us. Like, you got to remember, his goal scoring record had been better when it's been in the Championship, which is where we are right now. But them saying that they want 20 million if you get promoted to somebody who's not really proven that much in the Premiership. If you're going up to the Premiership, you want 20 million to go on someone who's proven in the Premiership. So, the one thing you've got to remember about him, though, he is one of the people that Peterborough United always have a really good thing. I wouldn't mind him joining. Off the Peterborough line of people coming through, they always seem to get good players. Like, when he was at Palace, he got... Let's have a look. This one in the Premiership. 8, 10 and 7. And for Newcastle, it's 6. His best goal scoring is in the Championship. Now, if you're wanting for the Premiership, then you're going to have to look elsewhere, really. Let's have a look what Riley's put. I wouldn't mind him joining, but the price range is too high. Maybe we could get him on loan. The problem is anybody that wants to get him on loan, the deal that basically Newcastle have put forward is that they will pay his transfer fee, pay his wages. They'll pay the bulk of his wages. They'll pay the loan fees. And they will then also everything like that. But then if you get promoted to the Premiership, there is the guarantee of you have to guarantee that you will have to pay for him in the summer of 20 million. And I personally just don't see that as a good deal for anyone, really. Would be weighted on the Monk. And I don't think it will work. And I really, really don't think it will work for him. He's had injury problems as well. And our problem at the moment is that we're not looking for people like that. I think we should be looking at someone younger, like a Connor Wickham. Like, people keep forgetting that Connor Wickham's only 26. Like Chris has said, he's only 26. He still can go. The only problem you've got with Wickham is that he has had a bit of an injury problem, which is one of the reasons why he came to Wednesday for that period, because he had an injury problem then and just got back in. So I personally go for Wickham. Younger, you've got more likelihood to get him in the summer, because I can't see him getting anywhere into that Crystal Palace team anytime soon, to be honest with you. Because I think they're looking at moving him on. I think they've gone, this hasn't worked out, thank you for your services, and we go from there. And I get that with Dwight Gale. Well, I think they've gone, well, we're in a different class now. You're great in the Championship, but you don't seem to do very well in the in the Premiership. And he's also been injury prone, and he's 30 or 20 million for someone who's not scored that many goals in the Premiership, when you're having to buy him when you've gone up to the Premiership, just seems like a stupid deal for me. I don't get why someone would do that. Wickham would be great, to be fair. Yeah, Wickham's the one that I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing us also do some wingers. Let's have a thought. When they still speaking with Palace, almost it's not very close to where they think they will get better or less is a mystery. So, someone to always check out when it comes to a lot of the rumours is Alan Nixon on Twitter. He is 9 times out of 10 reliable, and he just said that the whole thing with us and Palace, he just put it this way, it's not very close as we speak. Where they think they will get better or less is a mystery to us. So it all depends on what we're willing to put forward, or how much he's going to go for, in a sense. So it's an interesting one, that one, because and the thing is, we know what Wickham can do. This is the thing. Wickham, we know what he brings to the table. We already know how he plays. It would be a little bit like when we had Leon Beth for a bit, for like the second time. We knew what he could do. It was one of those deals that made sense, and it happened, and it worked. But this one, I don't know, because at the minute there's a lot of names going around, and it seems like at the moment we're linked with every fucking striker. As soon as we hear that there's someone that's available who's a striker, it's like, we're linked to him. And that seems normal, let's be honest with you. That is normal for us to have that happen. But I personally feel like it could be very interesting what we do. I just noticed, Chris, you had a second thing. The Sims rumours are interesting. I think that one got more legs than I would say all the rest. He's a young player who we would definitely try and get. He's one of those players who I think he's at Southampton, isn't he? Would definitely want to loan out as well. And it's also, you've got to remember, Monk is actually quite a canny operator, and no one really gives him that much credit for that. He's actually very, very good. Yeah, I've already said Gale isn't realistic. Glenn, how are you, mate? But I think what you're looking at is that I think Chansiri's learned his lesson over the last couple of seasons now. That he knows that he basically knows that I'm not going to go spend silly money on players anymore. I'm going to look through the market and see what we can get. And he's now starting to see what the youth team is producing. Big O is a breath of fresh air. But like when we saw Jordan Thornley and Af Baker go, that was like, what? We're actually selling players for profit. What the hell? Like, I love to try and get Fortieri out the door this transfer window. Get him off the books. Because come the end of the season, we're going to have a lot of players off the books completely. And that's going to be interesting because it's going to free us up a little bit more. Just give me a moment. I'm very much aware that the FA Cup game going on between Manchester United and Wolves, I kind of want to have it on in the background. So I just need to put this in. Gale is not realistic at all. And I kind of actually forgot he's 30. I didn't actually realise that he was 30 years old. I always keep thinking that he's a young player, and he's really not. He's one of those players who have been around for fucking ages. And that whole situation, when you know he's been around for ages, you forget how old they are. Like, it's like you look at, who was it the other day me and the missus were talking about? We were talking, I can't remember who we were talking about. We were talking about a player and we were like, oh my God, he's been around for bloody ages. How is he only that old? Let's have a look. It's nailed on Wickham. Who are we looking at for the rest of the squad? Any standout player if we're looking to sign? Any player we bring in is going to be a loan. So at the end of the day, whoever comes in, we're going to be loaning the player, and that works in swings and roundabouts. I've heard rumours of the lad at Everton were meant to be tracking in their youth team. There's a lad at Chelsea who we still got linked with the whole Hector thing. So that could be a goer. It'll be interesting to see where we go. Put it that way. It'll be interesting to see where we go. This ain't working. There we go. Because personally, I think we're going to be quite surprised with who we bring in, kind of thing. Because people, if you look at some of the signings he did when he was at Swansea and when he was at Birmingham, there were players that he didn't really think of, in a sense, that there were people you didn't really think of players that you will bring in. It's like it was well out of left field. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Callum, how are you, mate? Callum took me to the second to realise who you was. Got rid of the corner part of your name. Yeah, because people thought I was Callum Corner because I'm bald. We look nothing alike. Was it Nicker? You mean the lad who took on to Bristol City, apparently, from Arsenal? Is that the bloke you're on about? So, yeah, it's... If you had to look at where we're looking at doing stuff and improving the team as such, would you think... Where would you... Right, I'll say it this way instead. Where do you think we need to improve in as players? And I'm being deadly serious. Like, where do you think we need to properly improve? Kind of thing. And then we'll go from there. We all know we need striker because we're not scoring up top. We possibly need another winger. I kind of like the idea that Jacob Murphy's been told he can leave at the end of the summer. But the one that was interesting to me was Aaron's had gone back from his spell at Wickham. He'd gone back to Newcastle. I don't want to keep raiding Newcastle like we did a couple of years ago. Like we did, like with Watford, like we kept on getting all their players and stuff all the time. So it was always interesting when we did that. Oh, this is connected to the wrong Wi-Fi. Bollocks. That one. Connect. Don't make me get up. No, the one you and the missus were talking about have been around for ages. Shit. Oh, hang on. It'll come to me. Try to think what Danny Ings. It was Danny Ings. I was shocked by his age. Because he feels like he's been around for bloody ages. And it's an interesting one, kind of thing, with everything that's going on with Wednesday, because it's the first time in a long, long time we've actually had a transfer window where we're not too sure what's going to happen. If that makes sense. Because I can't remember the last time when they were being this good with keeping transfer targets quiet. Because, let's be honest, we have leaked like a sieve at times when it comes to our targets. And how many times have we lost out on targets? I'll say it's been a fair couple of times when we missed out on them. Because we turn around and say, or people have gone, oh, well, you're coming in for him, so we're going to jack up the price for him, or you want him on loan, and then somebody else would come through. I think it's the first time in a very, very long time that we have... Hey, I've got 3 screens going with me on. This is doing my head. That we have keeping our cards close to our chest, which is nice. Let's have a look. I'm fine missing out on nicotine as long as we bring in Adams or Gray. I would definitely take Gale, but Newcastle with their 20 up by if promoted and to pay full 60 big off and proven. Adams has been ruled out, Callum. The manager for Southampton has ruled it out and say he's not going anywhere. So Adams is pretty much out. Gray, on the other hand, I would definitely look at. He is a proven goal scorer. It just not worked out with the move he'd done. I'd like that as a deal for us to do, if we can do it. And the thing is there, would we be able to do a loan? But we know he's proven in the Championship. And we know he's proven a little bit in the Premiership as well. So that'll be good. I say a winger or two, another creative midfield, possibly box to box, and obviously a striker or two. Yeah, I agree with that. A winger, someone in midfield would be nice. I kind of want us to start trying to find our next Barry Bannon, if that makes sense, because Barry Bannon is now closer to 30 than he is any other thing, and it's going to be that situation where you want to start finding the next Barry Bannon, but younger. And if that's in our academy, that'd be fucking fantastic, to be honest with you. That would be awesome. But we'll have to see what happens there. I hear we are linked with Ronan Coles on free transfer in the summer. It would be a real coup and very tasty. If we could get in, that'd be good. It would be what we need. Also, it's one of those things, if we could actually sort out a contract for him early doors, if need be. 23 is a young age, and he's the right kind of player that you want to be bringing in. He is. It's one of those things. He is the right kind of player you want to be bringing in. You want players who are League 1, League 2, but are just ready to hit somewhere else. It'd be good, that one. Aarons is one I definitely want to look bringing in. He would class for us and definitely play with more dimension than Harris. I'm a Harris fan, but the problem I've got with Harris is he's too one-dimensional and he's head down, run straight. There isn't another trick to him. There is not another trick to his game, which is sad in one way, because I like him as a player, and it would be nice if he changed it up. And again, someone like Johnson Clark Harris is another good example of a player down the leagues who will definitely probably do the step up and wouldn't cost us a lot. And under someone like Monk could really flourish as a player. I think we have to start thinking not players here in the Premiership, but players here, like League One, but ready to hit that Championship ceiling now. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. He hasn't gone anywhere yet. He's still a Bristol Rovers player. So let's see what happens. It will be interesting to see what happens with him, because I'm not 100% sure how much they want for him. It would be interesting to see what deal we could do there for him, to see what we could get in. Chart is interested, but he's not. Yeah, basically the manager today for them, Callum, basically turned around and said it's not happening. He's not going out on loan. And it's all right saying the player might want to go, but personally, it's very hard for you to turn around and get your club to go ongoing. And I'm saying, what date are we on at the minute? We're on the 15th of January. If they bring in players right at the end of the window that are strikers kind of thing, we might be able to then do a deal to get him in. You don't know. Would you take Liam Clark? Me personally think it'd be class if it's possible. It's if we could do it. I'm not gonna lie. I can't see it happening because I can't see Chris Wilder wanting to loan us a player to help us. And I know that sounds really petty, but I don't think he would want to do that at all. He'd loan anyone to anyone but us. I personally think that. I don't think that would ever happen. I don't think Chris Wilder, in his mentality as the United boss, would turn around and say, well, I'm going to let you have this player to help you out, kind of thing. I don't think it'll happen. And if that was the case, I think he'd turn around and try and sell him before he could. Now, I'm going to talk about a player that got linked that I saw on Instagram and Twitter, is Tyler Boyd. He is a New Zealand American soccer player. Well, we basically mean football player, but you know what I mean. He's a striker, but he can also play right wing. He's at Besiktas in Turkey. He's only just signed there. He signed there at the start of the season. He's on a 4-year contract at the moment. So would be interesting. He got no goal for them this season. He doesn't have a great scoring record, but maybe, just maybe, we might be able to do something to get him in on loan, or even get him in on loan and then buy him. Because he's had a couple of loan spells and stuff, but a 4-year contract would be really hard to get him out of. But I think he could be a player we could look at. He's in that right age gap, 25, that we need to look at. Hey, we've got a fight going on here in the Man United game. Calm down. Well done, lad. Do you think we'll sign anyone before the weekend? Personally, if we do, it'll be tomorrow that we sign them. I'm just putting it out there. If we sign anyone, it'll be tomorrow. And at this moment in time, I was hoping we were going to have someone in by today, to be honest with you. But if we get anyone in, it'll be tomorrow, I reckon. Because if you leave it Friday, you're not really going to be giving yourself enough time for him to possibly come into the team and make an impact. So if we don't get it in tomorrow, then they might play at the weekend. If we get it in on Friday, I can't see them. They may get on the bench, but I'm not sure. Because we'd all like to get someone in. Lopez. You got Alex Lopez. He was a good player, and I can't remember where he went. Let's have a look. Alex Lopez. Lopez. Let's have a look. He is now. Let's have a look. He's currently playing for Racing Feria. And they play in. Oh, God. They're a Spanish team based in the Division B of teams over there. So he dropped down the pecking order a little bit. He had a good little run at one point. How old is he now? He's 32. Jesus Christ. We got him in a good time. Yeah, he's at Racing. However you say it. He joined them in 2019. He had a spell in Australia for Brisbane Rovers or Brisbane Roar. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Always the went to wait. Exactly, mate. Exactly. But I think if we can get a good pacey winger in, a young striker on either a deal where we can buy, say, someone like a Iorfa at 200k, and then he comes in, he does really well, and it's only 200k we paid. But the only problem with that, it's very rare you find those deals with strikers because everybody's looking for a striker. I still think Clark Harris is an option. I think he will be a very good option, really. He's only just joined, mate. I don't know what his contract is like, but at the same time, I'd be very. I'd be interested to see how well he would have played, and because since the Wednesday thing, his career didn't really go that well. After being at Celta, he had 2 loan spells where he had 24 appearances, 1 at Ols, and then he had another 30 appearances at the other team. He went to Sporting Gijón and made 11 appearances. Brisbane Roar Football Club, where he made 25 appearances, and he's made 9 appearances at his new club. It seems like he's winding down his career, if that makes sense. He's in like their B teams and stuff. So it will be interesting. Like, one of the big problems is that it seems like he got a big lower back problem these days. So injury record will be good. Will be interesting there. Wickham is the Prem. 4 games, 1 goal, 0 assists. 4 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 0 start. To be fair, if we could get anyone in, it'd be Wickham for me. But at the minute, it seems like we're not close enough to there. And it's probably going to be something stupid like a sticking point on how much wages each of us are going to pay. They might not want to pay a lot of wages while he's here. And you've also got to remember, when we had him, when he was in the period we had him before, one of the reasons he came back to Wednesday, National Media Wickle deal is to Sheffield Wednesday is not close. It's not very close, so Wednesday unrealistic in what they offering, and clearly won't go any better forward. Won't get any better forward for less. So basically, it sounds like we're being a bit cheap when it comes to what we're offering Crystal Palace, which could be a bit of a pain in the backside if we're only offering so much, if that makes sense. So we'll see what happens there. Like I said, there's still a lot of room to move things on and see what happens and see who could come in. And there's still plenty of time for to do some deal, but I'm hoping that Monk can turn around and say, look, I want this player in, let's get something done. Antonio Caliber, obviously not him, but someone like him when we first signed him, or someone like a JJ. Yeah, someone like Antonio or JJ would be perfect right now. And with the consistency, because they both were a bit inconsistently at times. So it will be interesting to see what we went for, if that makes sense. So I definitely go for someone like a Wickham, but if the club's already having problems with trying to get a deal go, it'd be interesting to see what would happen. Monk confirmed the same link. Yeah, I've seen that as well, which is good. Hi Stuart, how are you, mate? I hope you're well. Did Wickham go on the leave match? Go to the leave match? Saw him in a video someone uploaded. He was on the train with the fans. I actually think that was when I know the video you're on about, but I don't actually think that was this season. I think that's when we went to Wembley. I actually think that's when we went to Wembley. I think that was when we got to the final. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that he was on a tram when we went to Wembley and went to watch us go, try and see if we go up. You got to remember, there's another factor with Wickham that some people know, some people don't know. Wickham's fiance is one of the Fuel girls, and she used to date Chris Lines. Now, Wickham and her got together, and they have a son together, but she's a big Wednesday fan, and so is her dad. Her dad is a huge Wednesday fan, and is very active on Twitter, I'll put it that way. I'm not going to put it out so people can ask him stuff and stuff. It's not fair. But they will make a big, interesting push to see if they will push him there and see what would happen. He would have to do what's right for him and his family. But the family being on that side Wednesday night will be interesting. Let's put it that way. I wonder if Westy will be on the bench. I feel like he will be, to be honest with you. I don't see why he shouldn't be. If I'm honest, would you seriously drop Dawson with the way he's performing at the minute? I wouldn't. At the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, Callum, but at the same time, he's keeping him out. I don't think he would deserve to be dropped. I think it would be very, very, very harsh on Dawson if he got dropped. I think he did a phenomenal job when we played Leeds. I thought he did really well. No, Aarons had just gone back. Aarons had just gone back to Newcastle. His loan deal ended. Let's have a look. Glenn, Aarons is that man for me. Same close Antonio and Johnson, pacey, tricky, and could put a cross in. Yeah, Aaron would be good, and I think he will come back. The only thing I've got with Aaron's coming back, if you follow any of their social medias when they were here, him and Hector and Josh Onomer were actually really all very close when it came to like when they were in and getting on to. So I'd be very wary of that. Basically what I'm saying, be wary of Fulham. Be very wary of Fulham because Fulham could cause a thing where they go, oh, we'll have him in. And just because of knowing what Fulham are like at times. So it would be very, very interesting who we brought in. But like I said, there isn't a lot of people at the moment that right now, you're seeing some of the names that we're linked with and some of the things, but it seems like we're linked with everyone at the minute. With Vardy will come, we can all dream that ship has sailed in real world. We would have got a promotion. Vardy was seeing his career out with us. To be fair, remember, Vardy nearly came to us that season. We got to the playoff final. And it was very, very close for us signing him. And they were all ready to let him go, Leicester. And I think if we did have Vardy, we would have got promoted that year. Most definitely. But it wasn't to be. If, say, Vardy did want to, like, come to Wednesday, like, back in the, like, a 6-month loan or something, just to say he did it, would be brilliant. But at the same time, I get it for Vardy. Vardy, it's the kind of thing, if Wednesday got promoted, you may see Vardy turn around and say to Leicester, look, it's my boyhood club. I want to go play for them in the Premiership. Can I move to them? And see what would happen and go from there. So if it's been discussed this already, do you think we'll sign anyone on loan or permanent? It's going to be loans. I don't see any permanent coming through, mate. I don't see it. I do not see permanent transfers coming in this window. If they come in, they're going to be either youth team style players like under 23s, or if they are permanent, they will be a permanent from lower league ready for next year. Nothing to start this year, if that makes sense. Like, you could see someone like Clark Harris come in, or someone of that ilk. But I think you got to think that we're going to have a loan players in. I just don't see it. I don't see where you get a permanent player in unless it's a permanent player at a very, very good deal, and the deal just too stupid to pass up. One of the other things we need to do is start taking more players off the books. We've already started with Baker and Thornley, which is, to be fair, I wish them all the best in their careers. I'm a bit gutted about Thornley. I thought he may have had a chance, but he just seems like he's gone down the pecking order. So we'll see. For me, we want to be looking for the next Bannon, just with his vision alone and how he plays. A younger version of Bannon. Some of the players who we've got right now, I think we have a period now where we have pretty much sorted most of our back four. Our back four look pretty solid. I'd probably look at one more, so we've got 2 for each position. But our back four is looking more and more solid now. Let's be honest. We still need help at right back and left back, but Big O doing a fantastic job so far. And to be honest, we're keeping Palmer out of the team. Palmer's back fit and training, so that will be interesting to see what happened there. Good competition there. Adebayo, I'm not sure about. I've not seen enough to say, yeah, keep him and see what happens. He is only 26, but if he's not in month plans, I'd rather get rid of him and make some money off him, because at the end of the day, we didn't pay anything for him. We only paying wages. So it's not like we had a situation where we paid wages and a transfer fee. It was a free transfer, so that was kind of a bit of a deal. Let's have a look. Adebayo started among first 6 games and had a 4-game chance after the West Brom game, and he yet to make the bench since his suspension. And along with Af Baker, he would not even include even in the cup. Well, that, to be fair, Callum, at the end of the day, if Monk doesn't rate Adebayo, then get rid. And he's obviously turned around to Af Baker and said, look, I don't see you in my future plans. I want you to go out and get football. But at the same time, us as a club, I want us to make some money. So if he'd gone, right, I'll sell you, I'll make some money and go from there, then fair be it. You wish the 2 players that have gone so far out all the best in their careers and hope they have good careers. But at the same time, if it wasn't meant to be, it's not meant to be. Thornley was a deal from Everton's academy. He got him from the academy. Looked like he was going to make the grade under some managers. And you got to remember, when it's been a long time since when they've had a settled manager, like properly. Like our last settled manager was Carlos, and that was a good couple of years ago now. So if we can get a period where we get Monk settled and stayed here long term for a while, it'll be good. So it'll be interesting what happened. Leicester only paid 1 million for Vardy. What a deal that was. How much do you think Vardy's worth now? I say, he's worth about 20 million. Well, you're saying 20 million minimum. I'd say 30 million minimum for him. Considering if you're going in today's transfer market, I'd say 30 is your starting bid. And if you look at it when Arsenal tried to buy him from him, they offered a fair bit amount for him, and it just didn't go through. So it's interesting. I've seen that, Glenn, and I think that's a great stat, and it shows something about the squad this year that we are got the third highest goals away from home behind Man City and Leicester in all 4 divisions, and that says a lot. That says a lot how we're doing. I think we could do a little bit better at home, but we're starting to get clean sheets again, which is good. Like I said, it's an interesting one. Like you're seeing today, like Fernando's had his birthday and stuff. So what's that make Fernando now? All right, thanks for that, Fernando. What's he? Let's have a look. Give me a minute. Because you've also got the other thing where we now need to start looking at players who we want for next year who are on deals at our end. Like the talk that Celtic are looking at Cameron Dawson. Dawson, for me, is a player you tie down to a new deal straight away because he's been playing really, really well. Morgan Fox, you put him on a new deal. Like, I'm deadly serious on Fox, Dawson, and people are not going to agree with me there, and I'm fully aware of this. Hugh, I've given new contract to. So, Fortieri is now 30. He's in that bracket, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I didn't see your message, mate. I missed it. Sorry, mate. I like how ruthless Monk is being with Moses. He's obviously don't trust him, and that's clear to see. That both him and Baker weren't even included to the squad to fight outright about being there. Well, he got to do what he thinks is best for the squad, and at the end of the day, if he don't trust them, I'd rather him not play them. At the end of the day, if he don't think they're good enough, I'd rather him not play them. We'd love to get Alex Morrow with his contract. I think he will be an amazing fit for Bannon and 24. It'd be interesting how we would get him, and there's a lot of clubs sniffing around him at the minute, so we'll be fighting. And we got to see what happens in the summer, because we don't know what position we're going to be in financially and what we're allowed to do. So that'd be interesting. I reckon we'll lose both Nando and Rowe for free in the summer. Yeah, I'm starting to think that as well. I'm starting to think that those two are going to go for free in the summer. And it'll be a shame to not make any money on them. But Rhodes, to be honest with you, Rowe one, I'm not too fussed about if we lose money on him. Because anything we would make on him, we wouldn't make a lot because we have to pay a portion of it to Middlesbrough. So that will not do more. Nando, I'd be gutted if we couldn't do, but I could see Nando going back to Italy, or even possibly going to Argentina and going there and seeing what happens. Also, we have the third and fourth best defence in the league, which is, if we have points, that would be more clinical at home points dropping from winning positions. Yeah, we've been good in the defence. It's just we drop points at stupid places. Like, if we hadn't conceded all those late goals that we've done in that period, I read somewhere where it was something like stupid, we would have 54 points and be top of the league if we hadn't dropped so many points. What's the crap with Fernando? Is he injured? It seems like it. It seems like Fortieri is injured again. seems to always get injured around Christmas time, a little bit like some other people do. A lot of players seem to take Christmas injuries or suspensions quite literally. And to be honest with you, Fernando, like DJ said a couple of streams ago, said he had 6 months for him till January to show that he's proven he wants to be here and see what happens. And I agree with him. He's not done it. It's time to let that shit sail. He had a great first season for us, but apart from that, he's not really hit the heights of that second season, which is annoying. We also have the 1 year option by the club. I don't think the club will take it. I don't think the club will take that 1 year option. I think it will be one of those situations where the club turn around and said it's not worked, see you later. Or it could be that we take the option just so we got a striker around. Fairs have been in full training since Monday. Yeah, full training. He's been in training since Monday, but you don't know how easy they're taking it with it. How much he's doing. I could see Fezzi starting on Saturday. He would have to hit the ground running, but he's been way too injured, I'm afraid. Craig Thornton and like Alan literally thought we are way off signing Wickham. Good if we don't get him soon. Yeah, it's been mentioned in the stream, Craig, that it looks like we're probably not going to get Wickham at this moment unless the club does something dramatically in the talks and actually does what they want to do. But we are well known of being quite stubborn with what we're not going to pay and losing out on targets like that. Let's have a look. How's Glenn Murray gone away? Not yet, but like someone just said, it looks like Forest are probably going to end up getting him. And he's one of those players that I think if we did get in, people would still have a problem with it. Kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see what we do there. We haven't had a consistent defence through. Lee got injured, then Hutch. Same with Palmer, etc. We chop and change. We've not had the same starting 11 for a very long time, to be honest with you. We've not had a full starting 11, let alone a back four. So it's not been something that we can do. But you're right, we have been chopping and changing the back four constantly. So considering what the stats are, that is pretty good to have. Do you see what happened to? Yeah, I did see that. It was very sad, to be honest with you. Some very evil people in the world, which is not nice. Heard it with David Pleat. I wonder if we are linked with fullbacks on loan, especially a left back. With Penny staying in Germany, I think we may need to cover. They need cover, or could you use? I can't think off the top of my head the players. I don't know at the moment. And I know what you're saying, that we do need cover in those positions, and you're right, we do need cover in left back and right back. Let's be honest with you, it's not just them positions, but they are positions that we don't have much cover for anyway. It would be nice to bring in some more fullbacks, but the problem you got is, if you look at this event, we are looking pretty decent in it. So it'll be interesting to see what we do, or if we try to bring anyone a bit younger in from the academy just to bulk bodies up and go from there. Which, with what he's done, with what he's done so far, I think he might go more down that route. Let's have a look. Yeah, McGeady. I don't think McGeady was going to happen anyway. Wrong side. Age-wise, he'd been here before. He's and let's be fair, when he was with us before, he didn't really put the world on fire. To be honest with you, I don't think he did anyway. I thought we didn't see much out of him. So, yeah, I'm hearing a lot about Josh Sims. It seems more and more that it's going to happen. Very good player as well when he gets going. Would be nice to see. Oh well. Josh Sims at Southampton at the minute, or is he on loan at the moment? I'll come back to it because I think he's on loan. Let me just have a look. Not there. Because I think he's on loan at the moment. Let's have a look. News. Guy was confused, interesting. Justin's. Alright, cool. Yep, okay, fair enough. 7th. It would be good to see him get him in, to be honest with you. But anyone who comes in, I still think it can be a loan. I don't see it going anywhere else, to be honest with you. Right, okay. People moan about experience and being too old or too young, not enough experience. What do you think? Personally, I think someone who knows but they cost too much. I have the thing with that whole aspect. My drinking a little bit bitty. I apologise. The whole aspect. I think it's always good to get a balance of young and experienced players and mesh them, kind of thing. I think if we're looking at what we're wanting to do now, we need to have players that side of 30 and not that side of 30. If you're looking at pace and stuff, which we don't have, but starting to bring a balance mix. I personally rather go with a youngish squad, because you go with a youngish squad, you've got the potential to sell players on and make profit. And at the end of the day, that's what a football club needs to do. It needs to make profit, and it's something we've not done in a while. So it'll be interesting to see what would happen there. The Che Adam one is never going to happen. No, that one's dead. That died. They even confirmed that one going to happen today. I think Monk had done a really good job the way we were playing. Monk's done a fantastic job, and I'll hold my hands up. I said I didn't want him in due to what was happening off the field with his agent, but he proved me wrong. He's done very, very well. I'll admit he wasn't the choice I wanted in, but I always said whoever came in, I'd back, and we're all doing that, so it's good to see what happens. Yeah, I just read that. Problem with Wickham, he's not pacey. We definitely need pacey strikers. Wickham had got a turn of pace when he needs it, Callum. He had got a turn of pace when we need it, but at the same time, yes, we do need a pacey striker, but there's not many around that are going to come out to us at the moment, sadly. So it'll be interesting to see what we do, but I agree, we do need pace. We do need pace up top, but we need to replace Fletcher, like Craig had just said. We need pace up top. We need to replace Fletcher. It's like, what's Alan Dixon? You mean Rickson? They mean the Sun journalist, mate. Give me a moment. What have I found here? Give me a moment. Really shit at multitasking. Bloody no, I've lost it. Oh, bollock to it. Lloyd Icker was a player with potential. Also, someone has a good Cameron Jones. Yeah, it that kind of thing. Icker, we couldn't afford him. Cameron Jones, we all wanted to get him. He was superb for us, like really good for us. But how many times has Wednesday had the situation where we got a player in on loan, made them world beaters, and then when we've gone to turn and said, oh, can we put a deal in for him or can we get him back? It's not happened because we've made him too good. Like the amount of times we've had players come in from other teams and we've gone, oh, can we have him back next season? It's like, well, no, we want him. You've done what we needed him to do. He's he done exactly what we needed. So I agree with it, kind of thing. But yeah, I agree with DJ. That is a name I've not heard in ages. Alan Nixon's Twitter, I think it's Real Nixon or something like that. Iggo is at Southampton now. We had him on loan from Southampton, then he went to Vans. Yeah, when we had him on loan from Southampton, he didn't do much. He had his best spell when he was at Barnsley, but this whole thing, these things do come back to bite us in the backside. The yellow card, red card coming up here in the game. Let's have a look. Hang on a moment. Let's have a look. Oh, he bought that one. Don't touch him. Oh, he don't touch him. That's a bad call. Thief Gods, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever heard of him. Not someone who crossed my radar, to be honest with you. I expect a very fresh Harry since he's been rested. Hope so. The EFL thing has been very hush-hush. To be honest with you, with the whole EFL thing, at the moment, it's in investigation process. So, let's have a look. It is in... Oh, hang on, is this lad... Yes, I have heard... Is this the lad who we had on at the training ground? Yes, I have heard of him. Beef Quaz. He's the lad that was at the training ground. And he's been around a couple of times, but he's still with his club, so... There was talk about him at some point joining. He's been without a club since January, so I wonder if that's actually a deal we're looking at doing. That wouldn't surprise. That now makes sense then, Beef Squad. No, that now makes sense because he was at the squad and Fortier was around him a couple of times. So that makes sense since he's now not got a squad. Oh, God, I've lost something here. Hang on. Where's OBS gone? There it is. So that now makes sense, mate. I have heard of him. I apologise. I saw him when he was on Twitter at the training ground, so it will be interesting to see what he's good. Very fast, actually. Very good. Where was I? The EFL thing had gone hush off because it's in investigation and mainly because when they are fighting it, to be honest with you, and I don't think we're going to hear anything until the club are ready to do so. We're all gossiping about this player and that player we want to come, but what about our youth? Player above things they say. He could do a job. Not been on the bench yet, which we need to do. It'd be interesting to see what happens. I know what you're saying, DJ. There's a lot of youth team players, and if you look at the last couple of benches we've had, Monk starting to put the youth team players on. You've had Hunt on, and the lads will see with what's going on with Big O, because I can't say bloody surname, I struggle with it, Jorhaig or whatever it is. They'll see that they can get in the squad, and that'll be a big boost for them. So that alone is going to help us get some of our youth team players in. If we have signed, he's been signed for a while or close to being signed, then entirely they go back to their parent club or sold for millions. Exactly, Glenn. That is the problem we'd always had. We'd always been very, very good at getting loan players in, making them either really good and then unable to get them back, or them being really shit and then never hearing from them again, or they were shit at us and then go to another club where we play and they play a blinder against us. It's always been the case. I don't think Boris to get a call up, but I'm guessing Munt doesn't think he's ready yet. It all depends. I kind of agree with you. Must think he's not ready yet, to be honest with you. Just with, if he brought in Thingy already, so he must not think he's there. But we'll see what happens there. I'd be interested. D Jones, I'm surprised he hasn't cracked, but had a crack with over Preston. I'm even more surprised he's very patient and looked great against Mill when he started. It's this stupid thing. Like, I think you're gonna see more and more of the youth team players get on the bench and slowly start coming to the team. I think Monk's actually starting to think, I'm gonna use what I've got here a bit more and see what we can do. Because if you make world beaters out of these, we can then turn into that club that sell players for big money. Look at Jack Clark at Leeds. Go to Tottenham for like 20 odd million or something. That's money they've made back. We need to start doing that model. And I don't like saying that we need to do the model of Leeds, but it's what Leeds have done for years. And we need to do it. United have done it as well. We need to do it now. Young Lagging, yeah, he does look a great profit. Yeah, that boss, that's the fella. He looked decent in the youth team. Would love to see. Hopefully, we can give him a chance. If we can give him a chance, then that'd be great. Vardy needs to slow down a bit for us to go to him. At the moment, guys, the limit got him. To be honest, Vardy will only come to where he's possibly at near the end of his career and possibly like a loan spell and he could do something. Oh, apologize for that of phlegm. Yeah, Dawson has had contract talks and hopefully getting tied down with Fox. Pelopessi and Penny as well. I'd like all of them to get a new contract. I especially want us to get Dawson's contract sorted. Mainly because Celtic are sniffing around him and I don't want him to go to Celtic because my wife will hang that over me and I don't need that. But yeah, Dawson contract pretty straightforward, to be honest with you, by the sound of it. It'll be just how much, do it, sign it, done. When you've got lads who have been in around the club for so long, they're a little bit like a Palmer. They're a fan of the club and thing, and I think it's looking more and more likely that you're going to see the goalkeeping spot be between Wildsmith and Dawson, because at the moment Dawson is keeping Westwood out, and I would not put Westwood back in the squad at the weekend. I keep Dawson in. He's doing so well. Because at the end of the day, what has Dawson actually done to lose his spot? I don't think he's done anything to lose his spot, to be honest with you. I think he's done really well. I think he's more than happily been in the right position for it, and he continued to do well, so he deserves it. So we'll see what happens. So, right, guys, I've been talking for over an hour now. My voice has gone to shit, as you can hear. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go for a bath because I'm knackered. Which I really shouldn't have one of these at this time of night, but fucking hell. But thank you for joining me for the stream, lads. Or ladies. I don't know. There might be some. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can... Monk put Bono when pornos in. That tells you don't trust Adebayo. Yeah, I know he don't. I know for a fact he don't trust him at all. Do you know much about Ben Hughes and what's he? Very, very good player, Ben Hughes. No, it's all right. Don't worry. Ben Hughes is a very good player. Got a lot of ability and got a good strike of the ball on it, and he's a very good prospect. I think he's a midfielder. I think he's attacking midfielder, striker kind of position, but very good player. I like. Oh, Man United just scored 1-0. Oh, it's the old statesman one matter. Let's have a look. I liked one more contract for Bannon, maybe another 2 years. Bannon's on a high. Bannon's contract runs out either next year or the year before, so that's not too much of an issue, to be fair. Much I love him. He getting to the end of his career, and Bannon is doing the Rooney role, if that makes sense. Where he's going further back now. So position and been great as always. Cheers, Chris. thank you everyone. I'm going to end the stream now, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. There should be a preview up tomorrow, possible stream when we get a player in, hopefully, and then game Saturday. So I'll see you then.